How's it going, guys? Welcome back for another video. We're in the garage and we've got car modification today. Happy weekend. I hope you're all doing well during this coronavirus time. I know I said it last week, but I hope you guys are finding projects to do and I hope you're filling your time and you're staying mentally stable as well as physically healthy. We've got a cool thing to install today. I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm gonna spin you around. We're gonna dive down and show you what I got. So right here, I have the AEM cold air intake setup. I got this used from a Miata group member. Big shout out to Billy. Thank you for selling this to me. I've been looking for one for a while. So it's a used set, and one thing that's different about it is the end of the main pipe that connects to the throttle body is cut because Billy had a upgraded intake manifold on his car. Hint, hint, this is relevant for the future for me. So he's also added a little port right here to run his PCV hose, and you don't need that if I were to just hook it up straight to the stock stuff, but with the new intake manifold you will need it. So we're gonna have to probably cap this, but otherwise everything should be here. I've got some extra couplings and piping in case we need to lengthen this a little bit. So first thing we have to do is we have to get the front bumper off the car. I've done enough videos of this, I'm not gonna show it. I'm gonna get the front bumper off the car and then we'll jump to getting this installed. All right, so we got the front bumper all disassembled. Previous videos for that will be up in the right-hand corner if it wasn't already up there. It is now. So remove all the bolts from the bottom, bolts from the top, fender well bolts, and the little crash bar bolts. And now we have access to the front tube of the intake, air box, and then we're not gonna really be touching this. So next thing that we need to do is just more disassembly. We need to remove these two bolts, disconnect it from the elbow, and then we'll go ahead and remove this as well, and then we can start mocking up the intake. So the outside intake tube is removed, and we can set that aside. Piece of the airbox is out. All right, so the airbox area is all removed. We've got the front tube removed. I think we're gonna have to remove some of this plastic right here. It's hard to see in the camera, but I think we're gonna have to remove some of this plastic right here. And then I will be making an ECU cover plate in the future because obviously we don't wanna get water or anything in this, and with the hood vents and everything, we're gonna make a little plate for this. So I'm gonna go grab the intake and then we'll kind of start mocking things up, seeing where everything needs to go, if we need to extend it or not, and keep up with this install. All right, so I've just got the top pipe in loose. It's not tightened up or anything clamped down. And I had to snake this in. I thought I was gonna have to take off the crash bar, but you actually don't. It's just a little tricky, but you can get it in. I'll show you guys really quick. It's hard to do with one hand. So what you would end up doing is taking your pipe right here, short end at the bottom, longer end at the top, flip it upside down, and slide in the longer part through that top hole, and then you can just fold it right down, and you're good to go. And then you don't have to take off your front crash bar or anything. All right, so next what we'll do is take our hose clamp, and we are going to clamp the two together. Should be pretty simple to do. Put one coupler on the end like that. Other hose into the other end of the coupler. And just kind of making sure that everything is lining up before you tighten it down. That's kind of the important part. Pretty good right there. So now you can kind of see how this is going to snake its way through the bumper, down there, up through here, through this hole where the old intake was, and then into your stock elbow. One other thing we want to do is we need to add our mass airflow sensor to this. It shouldn't be too hard, so I will do that at the end. But right now, what we need to do next is there's these little brackets here, and they bolt into the holes around the bumper right here. So I'm gonna have to see if I have the right bolt sizes. I'm sure I'll have some from all the engine parts we've left over. That's why it's nice to keep your hardware from the extra engine. And I will bolt this up. That way this is where it needs to be, and then we can tighten all the couplers down. All right, so one thing I actually forgot is the kit comes with these little rubber bushings that you can remove, place into the holes without having to bolt anything in, and then that way your intake doesn't rub metal on metal. So these go into the holes that I showed you guys earlier. One end, one nut goes on the back, and then one on the front. This part holds your intake down. So we'll put these in, and we can tighten everything down. It's kind of hard to get in because you gotta just reach behind and try to catch the bolt. Just dropped it. Both of our little rubber bushings are in. So I gotta just take the top nuts off, and then we can mount the intake to the rubber bushings. Little rubber boots are all, sorry it's hard to see this guys, but our little rubber boots are on. I did nut washer and then the intake bracket over each one. So now that those are kind of in place, they're gonna hold this up. Now I can go back and tighten all the couplers and make sure those are nice and secure. Then we can add the air filter, throw on our mass airflow sensor, and I think we can wrap this thing up. All right, and jumping back to this, I've got everything tightened down with the bushings, the couplers. One thing I will say is that if you guys get this not used or not cut for the intake manifold, it'll fit a lot easier. Not that this was hard, but like I had to make sure that every single pipe was just, it's all perfectly aligned so a coupler is down onto it and clamping down, but it's not going anywhere now. Everything is nice and tight. So now we can throw the air filter on and then we'll almost be done. So something that I'm slightly worried about is I really think that this is going to hit my horn, which it does. So I think I'll just have to bend it back a little bit. I can't remember how I mounted it. All right, so filter is on, and I actually didn't have to move the horn at all. Well, move it location. So if you can see that little tiny gap of light right here, that's the space between the horn and the air intake filter. So everything is good, everything is tight. I think I'm gonna throw in the mass airflow sensor now, and then we can give her a test. Mass airflow sensor is on. Let me show you guys what I did to this. So I didn't have anything to really plug the air intake with. I thought about maybe tapping it, but I ended up just plugging it with this small piece of rubber I had. It wouldn't fit over the outside, but it fit really snugly on the inside, so it should be airtight. If not, I'm still gonna go to the store soon and look for a rubber cap that I can couple onto this, or put a coupler onto it. And either way, I'm throwing this in, and then we should be good to start it. Bumper is all back on, the front lip and everything. Here's what the intake looks inside the car. I think that looks pretty cool. I do like the, I think it's the Moto East or Zero Limit one that sits up here. But I don't mind the look of the filter down there too. It's kind of cool, makes it look race car. Here's everything else up here if I haven't showed it yet. So I'm gonna lower the car back down and then we'll start her up. Car is on the ground. So, get in here. Starts up fine. So nothing sounds amiss. I don't feel any air coming out anywhere where it shouldn't be. We're getting sucked in from where it shouldn't be. As long as no air is getting pulled in from here or here, it should be good, not to throw like a coat or anything. All right, I'll give you a little intake noise. So I'm actually surprised at how that sounded a little different. I haven't had a colder intake since my last car, so it's been quite a long time. It's been like, I don't know, 6 years since I had a colder intake, and I forgot what it sounded like. They sound kind of cool. They are mainly sound machines. One thing that I'll need to do is I can either one, get a retune, or two, just wait till I get the new engine in. A lot of people will say, you know, air intakes don't do that much, and I'm not gonna disagree with you, but I will need that intake once I get the upgraded intake manifold on the 2.5 engine. So kind of just like a preemptive modification before I get the new engine in, so stay tuned for that. But I'm super happy with how this turned out. It wasn't that hard, just a lot of sweaty work. It's kind of warm out here, but it's not too hard. You can find the AEM intakes on plenty of websites, so there's no link for it. Sorry guys, there's no link for it down in the description. You can find it on Google or wherever, I don't know. By the way, if you guys are a winner, one of you 3 watching this video, if you're one of these winners, I haven't got a chance to go to the post office yet. I've been really busy with work, and with the whole pandemic thing, it's just, you know, it hasn't been viable to go out and get these sent out yet. It was bad timing, I know, but I announced the giveaway, and I wanted to do the giveaway for these before there was an actual like shutdown of everything. Anyways, thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are new to the channel, be sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 3,000. I think we might be at 3,000 by the time this video goes up. So thank you to everyone who has been subscribing. Leave a thumbs up on this video, leave your comments down below, and I will see you in the next video.